Welcome to Kick Up the Sass. No fluff, no faffing, just some real talk coaching. I'm Alice, your coach, and each week I unpack what's happening in my client check-in forms, including mindset struggles, nutrition and workout tweaks, blockers, wins, so you walk away stronger, sexier, and more badass than you were when you started. Hi, I'm going to go through the check-in form for this week. Some absolutely amazing questions, so I'm really excited to dig deep and hopefully give some really interesting and informative answers. So, first one is one of my favourite topics, food. Recipe ideas. One of my lovely clients has asked for some recipe ideas. She's struggling with some dinner time suggestions, and I know that she is a very busy lady with children and work, so I'm going to try and make some really efficient suggestions. So the first thing that I've started doing again is getting the slow cooker out. I kind of fall out of the habit of using the slow cooker, and then when I get it out again, I'm like, why have I not been doing this every week? It's just so easy. So last week I did kind of like a barbecue pulled chicken, and there's so many recipes online for things like that. And the whole family really enjoyed it. So that was a really good one. I think it took me about 5 minutes to prep. I'm not even exaggerating. I also love a slow cooker recipe where the meat goes in raw, which this was. So something like a pulled chicken, a stew, chili. I like to brown my mince and my beef first if I'm doing anything like that, but that's personal preference. Spag bol. Basically anything you can batch cook, I think, will just really, really help in a family situation. If you want some vegetarian options, then maybe a vegetarian curry, or you could do a vegetable bolognese. So I add loads of veg to my meat bolognese anyway, just to bulk it out and for, extra nutrients to make it extra nutritious. But if you're vegetarian, you could do like a bean bolognese or a bean chili and pack it out with extra vegetables as well. Same with curries. I can't really help if you're a vegetarian, you want to do like a pulled option. I did once buy some jackfruit actually, because I'd read about like pulled jackfruit, and it was back in 2015 when the whole clean eating era was in full swing. I never actually used it. If you're listening to this and you have ever done pulled jackfruit, let me know how it is. Slide into my DMs because I'd love to know if it's worth trying again, or just worth getting the jackfruit to maybe try again and maybe not let it just fester in my pantry this time. Anyway, back to dinner ideas. Fajitas and stir fry. So anything where you can just fry something really quickly. You could even prep the veg in the morning if you have more time on a morning rather than on an evening. I feel like we are quite rushed on an evening, especially if you've got children to try and get down for bed, and we are more tired. So the kind of decision fatigue kicks in, whereas if you already know what you are going to be eating, that's just another barrier that you don't need to overcome. And yeah, stir fries. I honestly love stir fry. We have stir fry at least weekly. Mainly because it's so quick. Like you can make a stir fry in 10 minutes. So stir fries are great, and you can pack like 3-4 portions of veg into a stir fry. I'll just list what we put in a stir fry in case you're not like an avid chef. We're not chefs, but my husband does really enjoy cooking, and we do like to have very flavoursome food. So for our stir fry, we tend to do garlic and everything. I mean, if you're not adding garlic, then just add garlic to everything. It'll instantly improve your dish. Garlic, bit of chili. Well, I mean, if you're giving it to children, you might not want to put chili in it. You can do it with or without, to be honest. Chili flakes. I buy like everything dry, seasoning. We do use fresh garlic, but you can obviously get garlic granules or lazy garlic. We have lazy garlic in the fridge as well. Lazy chili as well. Soy sauce, honey, and sometimes some lemon or lime juice if I've got some. Sometimes some peanut butter to make it a bit more like a satay. And I am not a measurer. I literally am like a dash it in kind of gal. So I'm just dashing it in. Oh my God, I'm not recording. Am I recording? Oh, I'm recording. Oh gosh, Alice. It's just been the bank holiday weekend. I'm a bit tired. Okay, we are recording. Good. Whew, panic over. Whew, thought I was going to have to talk for all that again, but I don't. Okay, back to the stir fry. Yeah, then you could serve it. So you could do obviously a chicken or beef stir fry or fish. I really like having fish with my stir fry and keeping frozen fish in the freezer, like white fish. Obviously you can do tofu if you're vegetarian. And then serve it with anything you want: rice, noodles, chips, homemade chips, whatever you fancy, really. Or if you're a calorie counter and you're running out of calories, the good thing about stir fry is you can pack so much veg in that it's quite filling on its own, and you don't necessarily need the carbs. So you can save your carbs for a glass of wine. Let me think. Have I got any other dinner ideas? I love a shepherd's pie. Well, I'm a bit lazy, so I'll say shepherd's pie. I love mince and mash. We very rarely actually make it into a pie, but I will often put the middle bit, the meaty bit, the gravy bit into the slow cooker. Again, brown the mince, chuck it all into the slow cooker, and then serve it with mashed potato or jacket potato. That's super quick as well. So I think anything that you can batch cook is a winner, and anything that's quick. And just really don't overthink it. You could have chicken, chips, and peas, and that would be a perfectly well-rounded meal. I think when you're trying to eat really well, you can get a bit like sucked into overcomplicating meals. It doesn't need to be overcomplicated. Just think about your protein source, your fruit or veg. So obviously it's dinner time, so veg, and then a bit of carbs, because we need carbs as well, especially for weight training, to help our muscles recover. So hopefully that's giving you lots of ideas. If I think of any more while I'm recording, I'll just drop them back in and be really annoying and keep jumping back to the first question. But hopefully that's helped. Okay, next question. How to continue making progress on holiday? This is a good one. And from the context of the question, I think the holiday is for a week or two. So my top tips are, in no particular order, be active. Again, this lady has children. I don't think you're going to be sitting on your bum all day. Okay. So try not to think about doing kind of formal activity. I do have a lot of clients who enjoy going to the gym on holiday. I do as well if we're in a hotel. We've done self-catering this year, but if you're in a hotel, it's actually really nice going to the gym on holiday because it's a break and it just kind of really refills your cup when you're away with kids and you get an hour to yourself. It's just a really wonderful time. But you don't have to do like try and squeeze a home workout in when everyone's trying to get ready for the beach. Like, don't do that. Like, if there's a hotel gym and you want to go to the gym, go. If there isn't, don't stress. You will be so active in other ways. You might have a swimming pool, go swimming. You'll probably be doing loads of walking, so really enjoy that. Your kids are probably going to want you to chase them, so enjoy that. And then with regards to food, I really like to, and I implement this myself as well. I've just been away for the weekend, and I implemented this, is the "you're not a bin" rule, and also like the "fuck yes" rule. So if you see something, let's say ice cream, the kids want an ice cream, and you're like, I don't really fancy an ice cream, and then, oh, I'm on holiday, so I'll just have one anyway. Don't do that. Have things that you want and that you love. Because what you'll find is you'll enjoy those things so much more. So if you know you're not that fussed about an ice cream, but you know that at dinner time you're going to want a cocktail, don't have the ice cream, have the cocktail. And once you start making those really conscious choices, it's very empowering to be kind of, what's the word? Discipline's not really the right word, but knowing that you're not eating for the sake of it, knowing that you're in control. It's like almost like going back to being a child. Like, it's really hard to get kids to eat something that they don't want to eat. And they will also stop eating when they're done with something. So like my daughter will get halfway through an ice cream, like I'm finished, I'm full. And wouldn't it be so great if grown-ups were like that? I mean, wouldn't our lives be so much easier? We probably wouldn't be having this conversation if that was the case. So try and think like a toddler if you can. And if you're not enjoying something, regardless of whether you paid for, I mean, you will have paid for it because you're away, but just because you've paid for it, you don't have to eat it. You're not a bin. You've paid for it anyway. So don't then eat for the sake of it and then have that guilt or that feeling of being overfull, or then not, then your favourite pudding is on the menu, but you can't face it because you've stuffed yourself with some food that you didn't really enjoy eating and you didn't really want. So that's kind of the mindset bit. And then also when you're eating out, go for your high protein. Always look for the protein on the menu. So if you're going abroad, fish is an absolute winner. Like, I always try and get fish when I'm abroad. It's always so fresh and delicious as well. For breakfast, if you're in a hotel, it's harder when you're in a hotel, I think, sometimes, because you're not going to be buying food in to keep in the fridge. So in a hotel, if you're at a buffet, look for your high protein, your eggs, see if there's Greek yogurt, might be some bacon available, those kind of foods. Get those on your plate first, and then add some fruit, and also add a little bit of carbs, because come on, maybe a little pastry, a little something. But always just try and start with the protein, because then you're not gonna overdo it on the other things and feel like crap. So if you're self-catering, just try and buy food that you would eat at home. We went to Spain and I was buying protein yogurts. Shock, people in Spain also want to eat protein. Who knew? So try and just look for what you would be eating if you were here, and don't get too stressed out about it as well. Like, you are on holiday, you are going to be eating different food. It's not forever, and you are the average of your actions. So you've got to think about everything you're doing as a whole. Like, if you're only going away for a couple of weeks a year, the other 50 weeks of the year, that is actually what's going to make a difference to your progress, not what you're doing on those 2 weeks. I think the main thing that you want to gain, or that you want to achieve while you're away, is not coming back feeling guilty. No one should feel guilty for eating anyway, but if you know you're eating for the sake of it, you are gonna feel like that, and that is perfectly normal. So we just want to avoid that. And obviously, like, feeling really sluggish, because it's not fun. No one wants to feel super bloated when they come back. And I think reminding yourself that just, you can eat all these foods the rest of the time as well. You don't have to just save them up for this holiday. Like, you're allowed to eat chocolate, you're allowed to eat ice cream. We're just eating it all in moderation. So they're my top holiday tips. It is really hard if you're going abroad, especially. It is harder, but there's a lot of fresh fruit and veg abroad as well. I think it's actually quite nice to eat holiday food. I love going on holiday and eating holiday food. I just love having fish and veg all the time. But that's just me. I think for a lot of people, it's the alcohol consumption increases a lot, or ice creams. But like I said, you're not doing it 52 weeks of the year. It's possibly 2 weeks of the year. So just give yourself a break, enjoy it, but go into it knowing that you're still allowed these foods when you come home, because that'll help you not go kind of into the all or nothing mindset with it. Okay, then the last question I've got is really similar to the one we've just talked about. So going away, but it's very specific. The 4-day camping trip. So for this one, plan. That is my main tip for you. So you're camping, presumably you're going in a car, presumably you're taking a fridge, or you're going to have some kind of fridge. So make sure you're taking protein, yogurts, Greek yogurt, take your protein powder, take your protein shaker. I know it sounds really insane and like a bit bodybuilding, but this is really going to help you. If you start the day with a massive chunk of protein, that's going to help you so much. Or if you get a bit picky in the afternoon and you need a snack and you're not going to be eating until later, if you're having a barbecue, for example, having some protein on hand is really going to help you. So I would plan. I know that this lady's got children as well, so presumably you're planning the meals a little bit. So just write down. You could even loosely track before you go. You could plan your 4 days into MyFitnessPal or Trainerize, whatever you're using for tracking, and see it laid out and be like, okay, barbecue, I'm gonna have a burger in a bun, I'm gonna have a sausage, I'm gonna have some chicken. Don't track your salad. God, we've got other more important things to be concerned with than tracking lettuce leaves. Don't do that. Track your breakfast. Try and replicate the same breakfast that you have at home. This will help you not be like super bloated and stuff. Although I do know that you quite like eggs. I don't know how easy it's going to be if you can cook eggs when you're camping. Maybe you don't want to replicate that. If you like porridge, porridge would be a good one. Porridge and a protein shake would be great. Or even just like protein shake and some fruit would be probably enough. So try and really simplify your meals and just don't try and wing it. Like don't go into it winging it. But I also want you to enjoy the fact you're camping. Like if you want to have a beer, have a beer. And don't see it as like this is the last time I'm having these foods and this is the last time that I'm having a beer, because then, like I said with the previous holiday question, that's when it all kind of spirals and goes a little bit haywire when you've got that all or nothing mindset. So just see it as a nice little trip away, having a bit of different food, but you also do want to fuel yourself like you normally would, because you know that eating how you're eating now is making you feel really good and it's leaving you feeling really energized. You don't want to be feeling sluggish when you're camping. I mean, your energy level is probably going to be lower because you're sleeping in the tent and you might be drinking a little bit more, and that's fine. So try and use the food to help you and help give you energy for playing with the kids. Because I imagine they're going to be running absolutely riot on the campsite. Oh, you have so much fun camping. That's going to be fun. That's going to be so great. But planning is my main thing for that one, and taking easy, accessible, high protein foods. So if you have to go and buy a few protein bars, do that. It might be a good idea to have kind of a protein bar a day, a protein shake a day, and just think about your breakfast a little bit. I don't know what. Let me think. Even if you don't have toast when you're camping, are you? I can't even think. Well, you might if you've got a grill. Cereal, even if you're having cereal with the kids, Rice Krispies, have a protein shake with it. That's the main thing. It's if you start missing out on protein, especially in the morning, you are going to be starving, especially because you've been getting used to having higher protein meals. If you start missing out on it now, you're going to be absolutely starving and you're going to notice it. And then you're going to start picking at crisps, and you're going to start picking at biscuits, and then you're going to just start feeling like crap. So we don't want you to feel like crap. We want you to feel good. We want you to feel in control and empowered to make these decisions that are making you feel good. So plan your trip, maybe do a rough meal plan for while you're away. Oh, back to the dinner question as well. A meal plan would really help with this. Even if it's just a rough one, even if it's just a dinner time meal plan, if your lunches are pretty sorted, then don't do a full meal plan if you know you have the same lunch every day, like me, because I'm really boring. I really enjoyed my chicken on flatbread again today. Just do a dinner time meal plan, and you could do the same for camping. Like if you're gonna be, I don't know, what did you have for lunch? I've not been camping in ages. God, we used to go all the time as kids. What did we eat for lunch? Sandwich? I don't know. Probably a sandwich. And then obviously barbecue dinner. Barbecues are great. You're gonna get so much protein in. That's fine. I think for me, the more difficult meals is gonna be breakfast and lunch. Oh, you could boil some eggs as well because you do like eggs. Why don't you pre-boil some eggs to take as either snacks or to just like smush onto some toast? That would be a really good option for you for breakfast or lunch. Yeah, I hope that that's helped. If you've got any other questions, then drop me a message and I'll do my best to answer. Thank you. And that's your weekly Kick Up the Sass. Now go and take action. Stay strong, stay sexy. And if you've not already, scan the QR code and come and say hi to me on Instagram. I love hearing from you. See you next time.